everyone, this is Scott from the TF Review, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Generations Classics Chromia. Now this is the 2014 release of G1 Chromia, and this is one of the first, if not the first, Classics-styled Chromia that we have ever gotten. Now it is obviously a retooling of Transformers Prime RC. Everyone knows that. There's no point in sort of hanging this review on that fact. Let's take a look at this figure as though it represents the character and not so much the toy. Because, really, fans have wanted Chromia for a long time, and now we finally have her. So the first thing is, first, here is her in her, well, not going to beat around the bush here. This is a Tron Light Cycle, so here's her in her Tron Light Cycle mode. Considering the fact that it is a remold of Transformers Prime RC, this looks and feels like a completely different toy, and I think that is one of the strongest aspects of this figure. Now, if you're not exactly happy with the fact that she's basically a Tron Light Cycle, one thing I do like to do, because I kind of don't like the fact that she's a Tron Light Cycle, even though they pulled it off really well, I like to take this front wheel, and you can actually pull it out, so now she's got more of a chopper look. And I actually really dig this a lot more. I think it fits her character a little better. And I think it just overall looks so much cooler. But you don't have to do that. Of course, you can just keep it kind of lodged in there. This can rotate. I'm not exactly sure how that would affect anything, but if you want to make it look like she's kind of parked, you can go ahead and rotate it, and that's really cool. But you can see this is clear plastic, and clear translucent plastic can be a little bit brittle, so the wheel pieces do make me a little nervous at times. As far as I know, though, they are sturdy, and I don't think there's anything to worry about. Now, Chromia does come with one weapon, despite her character on the box showing two, and it's just this small little blaster, and if you want, you can go ahead and peg it right here onto her sides. Now, RC does come with an extra pistol. If you want, you can go ahead and take it and just plug it into her side right there. Now, that evens her out a little bit more, and it makes her look more accurate to the cover, and it looks cool. For a quick size comparison, here's Chromia next to Revenge of the Fallen Chromia. Let's see if I can get this to stand. Now, I really like this Revenge of the Fallen Chromia because it doesn't even look like a Transformer. It looks like a, kind of like a, what the fridge are they called? Tamiya, however you want to say it, model kits, because they always do kind of realistic. So I like to keep this in this mode. Who would have thunk it? And you can see, obviously, she is much smaller. And here she is next to Hubcap. Because I just happen to have it sitting around. That basically does it for the Tron Light Cycle mode. Let's transform this figure, and let's see how her robot mode compares. So, here we have Chromia in her robot mode, and this is, in my opinion, where the figure absolutely shines the most. There are similarities to RC. Obviously, the chest, the legs, the hips, the feet are the same. The head and the arms are completely new, and of course, this whole backpack is completely new. That's where a lot of the main differences are. The color, which I absolutely die for, it's kind of a mixture of a reflective shiny blue and this matted light blue color. It just looks really nice and very robotic, and it screams G1 Chromia. I can really see them doing a Moonracer remold of Chromia, since they are pretty similar in the G1 cartoon. I don't think we've had a Moonracer toy either, so this would be a kind of a cool opportunity to get, you know, more fembots out, considering how well they're selling. Now, you can notice in the back she's really kind of suffering from a lot of kibble, so you do have to look past that. And I know this tail piece does flare out. You can push it in if you want. The problem is, because of her light cycle mode, it sort of locks the legs in place, so you can't get an A stance or a wide foot stance with it down. You have to put it back. But if you're just going to have her standing in like a vanilla pose or whatever, you can reduce the kibble quite a bit. But obviously, that doesn't look very sexy now, does it? No way, no sorry, no how, no bob. So, you do kind of need to push it back if you want any cool poses. And now you're able to get a lot of cool poses. And speaking of poses, let's take a quick look at her articulation, because she has a ton. For starters, her arms can rotate, their shoulders are on ball joints. Her elbows are on ball joints, they can rotate 90 degrees, spin around, twist around, do whatever you want. Even though it is kind of tough to twist them like that, because the ball joint in here is rubber, so it's very frictionized, and it's a little bit hard to move. Her hands are also on ball joints, they can move forward and back, and they can rotate. This isn't due to the articulation or anything, this is just because, you know, the designers are awesome. The head can move up and down, rotate left and right. It's on a really nice, really emotive ball joint. The legs are on ball joint. I do have problems with this one popping off quite a bit. That's mostly during transformation. Her knees can bend a little more than, well, actually, about 90 degrees. And her feet, they can move just a tiny, like a fraction of a millimeter, but, you know, you're not going to get a lot of possibility out of that. But you don't need to, because she has this really great extended heel, so she's able to just stand. Like, you could lean her forward, and she'll stand, because she's just got these massive feet, which I think is great, and they're transparent, so you can't see them. Now, one small issue I do actually have with her robot mode are her shoulders. They can rotate, which is great, but they're also really kind of weird. They're on this bizarre joint. You can't exactly pull them out, or you can't have them so they're facing really outwards. That's about as much as you can get, so it looks like she's kind of asking for a bear hug instead of, you know, riddling some decons with bullets. And yeah, sure, it looks like she's got, you know, hubcaps on her shoulders, but I think it does sort of hurt the articulation just a smidgen. For a quick size comparison, here's Chromia in her robot mode right next to her partner in crime, Windblade. And did you guys actually know that the back of her head thing that is removable and can actually form a fan? I didn't realize that until I watched Evangelist's review, and my mind was blown. This is actually, I much prefer it like this. So that does it for the size comparison. Now she does come with her weapon, which is this one. You can take it, stick it in her hand, and if you want, you can take RC's extra pistol, stick that one, I think you can stick it in her hand, there you go. It's a little odd. It's an odd fitting in her hand, it kind of sits angled, but it's definitely doable. And now, Chromia can start wailing on some Deceptipunks. So all in all, I mean, that basically does it for the look of this figure. I am so happy that we're finally getting fembots. They were a big part of G1. I mean, just the posability on this figure is awesome. I love it. It is worth it. It's really kind of hard to find in retail out in the wild, so I'd recommend picking it up from BBTS or TF Source or Captured Prey. One of those sources, because A, you're going to get it in good condition, and B, you want your Chromia to be in good condition. That basically does it for this review of Transformers Generations Chromia. Thank you so much for watching. I absolutely highly recommend this figure. It is a remold. Yes, everyone knows that it's more of a retooling. I think that this mold is actually pretty universal, and I would love to see more fembots done in this style, such as Firestar or Elita 1, but I think Elita 1 might actually work a little better with the new RC mold, so I'll save that for my RC review. And that does it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at the TF Review and like me on Facebook at the TF Review. Go out and get yourself some fembots because they are awesome. They really are, and they're a nice breath of fresh ass. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.